The Everything Sequel Podcast is brought to you by the Vegas Beer Guys and the Everything Sequel Podcast. The Everything Sequel Podcast contains explicit language. 'Cause we learned it from you, Dad. Hello and welcome to the Everything Sequel Podcast. This is a Messengers edition. Today we're talking Messengers 2, The Scarecrow. My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the man who wants to throw me into the thresher, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Say hello, Tom.
Stuff what ain't exactly Christian, if you get my meaning.
I do indeed. You're a ghost.
Oh, wait, you're not a ghost. Oh, wait, you are a ghost. Like I said, this movie ran rings around me.
Only a ghost at 95 years old can get that smoking hot wife.
Also, don't know how you can have so much stubble when you're a ghost, as Richard Reel does.
Yeah, this movie.
That was what I thought. That was why I that was why I temporarily suspended disbelief that he was a ghost, because I thought, well, a ghost wouldn't have that detailed facial hair. But also, I mean, you know, it's lines like that also speak to why he's such a good choice for this role, because he's able to be avuncular and sinister without changing his style of acting at all.
Yeah, exactly. I do think he winks a little bit towards the supernatural.
No, the movie does. His performance doesn't.
No, yeah, you're right. It's the movie.
The movie winks at that and then says, that was just a wink. It's not. It wasn't a. It wasn't a.
I'm not. You caught that. I'm not sure.
It wasn't a nod and a wink. Oh wait, it was a wink. After all.
Well, here we are. We're talking Messengers 2, The Scarecrow. Our third installment of a 2009 film with 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, what? But that's the highest, right? Is that the highest?
No.
21% was the highest.
Trillions.
17.
Wasn't 17 the exact amount for Vacancy 2?
It might have been. I remember that.
I can find out.
The Cell 2 was 7%.
Mm-hmm.
Because we went on a Sherlock Holmes tangent.
Oh no, Vacancy 2, 21%.
Oh, okay. That's really strange.
Oh wait, did I say that was the most? Was Vacancy 2 the most? I think I did. Yeah, it is the most. Vacancy 2 was the most.
Well, I partially understand that, but
how dare you?
I don't know. This movie.
This is low. This is criminally low for this movie.
You know, there's good craftsmanship here.
Yeah, there's craftsmanship. There's yeoman's work.
It's not winning any awards, but
no, of course not.
It's a perfect middle of the road movie to put on in the afternoon and sleep through some of it.
A good portion of it.
It's so strange. I don't understand.
That's the thing about this movie is I had mentioned in the ranking episode that it's a paint by numbers. So for me, I watch it.
Is that what people are objecting to? That it should be aiming higher?
I don't know. For me, like what you just said, you could sleep through some of it. For me, I can see a scene beginning, and I think to myself, well, I know how that's going to end. And I can.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's the thing. I'm like, it's predictability. I find comforting.
I agree with that.
And it's kind of just the right kind of predictability where you're like, yeah, it's going to turn out this way. That all makes sense. And it's
because it's a real movie.
Yeah, and you know, it's the way that they go about it as well is not offensive or clunky.
Mm-hmm.
in the way that these other movies are.
I agree with that.
It just kind of, yeah. It's inoffensive in the best possible way.
Yes. Yes.
And for some reason, those movies get more flack than movies that are just generally bad. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I'm confused and bothered by this.
Yeah. Mediocrity is an art. You know? What's that guy, Jack Vetriano? The guy
What?
The guy who's like he does like Edward Hopper pastiches. Veterano?
I don't know.
And he just does these perfectly nice paintings. I suppose it's the Guy Fieri question, isn't it? Like,
Guy?
yeah. Guy
Is
Fieri.
that just your accent calling him gay?
I didn't say that. You heard that. I didn't say it.
You said gay.
Gay Ferrari? No, I didn't. Guy Ferrari.
Gay Ferrari.
Like, what does he do?
Well, one of us will be vindicated once this episode is edited and out.
What's this guy who goes around and says, here's a good diner in your town? What has he done to incur this kind of wrath from people?
What was it? Are there legions of people saying "fuck off"? Messengers too?
Oh no, but 17%.
Yeah,
outrageous. I mean, I think I want to say Terminator Salvation's not too far off that. And
it shouldn't be.
It
should
that
be.
is an offensive movie. Anyway, doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
No, yeah, nothing matters. End times.
Hashtag end times problems.
All right, let's talk money corner.
Oh yeah.
Nope, wrong response.
Let's indeed do that by showing me that you don't have any money. How can you show me?
I got two monies for this movie.
Okay, all right,
Two monies.
all right. Show me the money. Is that how
Now
he
here's
is
something.
that how he says it in Jerry Maguire? I haven't seen it in many years. Show me the money. Is that what he does?
I think maybe you embellished a little bit.
Doesn't he kind of shout it into a phone whilst like his body is convulsing? I always remember being.
Well, he says it like 13 times, so maybe on one of them he goes that length.
I remember sort of thinking, does Tom Cruise have Parkinson's? When I saw that scene. And if he didn't then, he does now, after all he's put his body through.
I got two monies for this movie. Now, when you juxtapose this with the last film we had, which I came in with a budget of $33 million, which I find impossible.
Yeah.
Because the budget of this movie, what would you guess?
Well, it's got to be a contrast, so, I don't know, 10 million?
Try 2.
Whoa.
That's impressive for how this movie looks.
Definitely. But this movie's not, this movie invests everything in storytelling.
Yeah.
Which you don't need a lot of money for, if you're doing it right.
And which the other movies flatly refuse to try to do.
Yeah, if you're not cutting away to helicopters every 5 minutes. You can get by.
You know how I'm afraid of the light? Yes, I do. Well,
I suspect
they came up with that much editing. They did have a response of, yes, I do remember you're being scared of the light. You know what? I think we can cut that.
I suspect, though, that basically these are just estimates and both are wildly off. I don't think think the Cell 2 cost $33 million, and I think they spent more on this movie than $2 million.
Well, it says a budget of $2 million, and in the world, it gathered $1.5 million.
Once again, nothing matters.
The critics and the audience not on your side.
Was Messengers a big movie?
I don't know.
It's another one that's completely off my radar.
Me too.
Originals I didn't even know existed.
But it's certainly a movie with people like Kristen Stewart's in that movie.
Okay. Was she famous then, though? Yeah, I guess she was.
She's certainly younger. It's past. It has to be past Panic Room, I would say. She looks older than that. Oh, there's too many Messenger movies. Jesus, The Messengers. There we go. Who else is in it?
Not in this
right.
franchise, though. Hopefully.
No, yeah.
Because this is the only movie I actually want to talk about.
Dylan McDermott's in that movie. John Corbett, Penelope Ann Miller. There are actors in that movie.
That said, that's a lot of people whose kind of careers have declined altogether in one movie. Kristen Stewart's the only one who's on her way up, I think.
Yeah, true. Corbett, he's just waiting for another Greek wedding to happen. God damn it. Can we get another Greek wedding? Can we get a fourth Greek wedding? Fuck.
It's baffling because all those actors, especially Penelope Ann Miller, are really good.
Yeah.
Are really good, but they just haven't been able to translate that into successful careers.
I think Penelope Ann Miller is still around, but she's betrayed by what Hollywood does to any woman over 50.
Well, not if you're British.
Except for Meryl Streep.
Well, in Britain, you start acting at 50.
Mm-hmm.
Judi Dench, Helen Mirren.
Okay, but still, we saw them before that.
We did.
We saw them as younger actors.
Yeah, not really, but Judi Dench didn't get famous until she was older.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, was it The Artist? Was that the last big movie she did? Penelope Ann Miller?
Hoop. I don't know. No, I mean, she's in other stuff. She's in, like, one of the Alex Cross movies. She's in Along Came a Spider.
I wish I had $1 for every time you told me that someone that we're discussing is in an Alex Cross movie. We probably need to do that series because we've talked about it more than if we were actually doing an episode on it.
She's great, though. And it's funny, too, because, you know, she was one of those people in the mid-90s where she's in everything. They saw the value in her there.
That's what I mean. That's why it's such a drop-off.
Yeah.
I mean, her peak year was like 91, maybe? And she'd do like a couple of big movies in 1 year, I think.
Other people's money.
Carlito's Way. Of course, The Relic.
Fantastic.
That explains why her career went into decline. She was in a Tom.
Have you opened? I opened.
In a Tom.
Did I tell you that story?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think it was on our horror Patreon.
Great. All right. Well, this movie, directed by Martin Barnowitz. Here's a list of his movies.
I strongly suspect the fact that Barn is in his name is the reason he got this job. Because there's a lot of barn there's a lot of barn action in this movie. This movie is 90% barn.
Too much barn. Too much. Too fucking much barn.
Like everything else, just the right amount.
All right. Well, he has directed 3 other movies. One's called Jim.
It's it's a prequel to Star Trek.
Right.
That's just about bones.
He also has maybe another prequel. He has a movie called Room 205, which is not Room 1408.
Is it in that series?
I looked it up.
Is it in that? No, okay. There isn't a Room 206 or 7 or 8.
No.
Okay.
He's also got a movie called Danny's Doomsday. That was his last film, and it was directed, or came out, rather, in 2014.
Oh, okay.
So he might be in some sort of director's jail.
Is he alive?
He's alive.
Okay.
Somebody is not alive from one of these movies in this series.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, it was an actor. I know who it was. He's
Richard
from St. Trinian's.
Richard Reel's still around, right?
Ooh, let's find out. He could be dead.
Yeah.
This is Speculation of Death, a subset of the Everything Sequel podcast.
I have a feeling he's still around.
I hope so. He's a delight.
He is a delight.
Yeah, he's still with us.
Mm.
Oh, he's sneaky young.
He's got that Wilford Brimley disease.
Yeah, he's only 77.
He'll
be 78 in a couple of months.
So that means that when he's the prison security in The Fugitive, what, he's like 40? No.
Yes.
He's
right.
got that Wilford Brimley disease. It's the mustache.
Totally.
It's the
Looks
fucking
60,
mustache.
is 40.
You tell it. Wait, how old is The Fugitive? Like, is this like
93, right?
93? So how many? That's like 30.
He's born in 48. So he's 45.
He was not in his 40s when he played that role. That is insane. Wow. He's not younger
The Fugitive doesn't even make his top 4 films that, you know how they have the top 4 on IMDb?
Office
kind of
Space
across
would be
the
one
top?
of them, I assume.
Yeah, it is. Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. He's in Casino. Charlie Clark? I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't know why they have this listed, but a movie called The Man from Earth.
Oh, I know that one. That is Jerome Bixby.
If you say so.
Like a TV movie about an alien visitor.
Yeah, that looks like it from the poster.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that, believe it or not.
Of course you have.
Jerome Bixby.
All right, we're 17 minutes in. We should start talking about this movie. We're on a time limit, you know.
You're the one looking up Richard Reel vehicles.
At your request!
I said, is he alive? I didn't say look up every movie he's been in.
I have a note here that says we have an aggressive stage 6 logo.
Yes, it's the we've done 3 movies and 2 of them are stage 6.
Yeah,
produced.
there's connective tissue.
I was so scared because this was the 4th movie I watched, I think, and I was so scared when I saw that stage 6 logo again. I was like, oh, it's like not only are they
For fuck's sake, can we get away from this?
Not only are these movies the same essential movie, they're also produced by the same people. And then it's followed immediately by Ghost House Pictures.
And I had forgotten about Ghost House Pictures. I was almost kind of delighted when I saw it.
I'd never heard of them.
Oh, really? I had heard of them.
Well, I gotta say, a skull inside a keyhole is about as on the nose as you can get for a production company making horror movies. You can't really do like you can't really go from that into a family-friendly cartoon. You've kind of limited yourself as to what you can do if you start with Ghost House Pictures. So what else did Ghost House Pictures produce?
No, we're not going down that way. I don't remember, and I'm not looking it up.
Suddenly
You'll yell at me.
Suddenly you're the tangent police. You've gone from one of the worst tangent criminals to the tangent police. It's like the end of Clockwork Orange, where all the fucking grooms are now police officers.
You're not leading me down another lane just to yell at me, mister. I refuse to be taken into your trap.
Fair enough. Much as I like this movie, it doesn't begin well.
What, woman chased by a scythe?
Well, an underlit night scene and blurry titles to begin your movie. I mean, that's 2 of my worst visual irritations right there. And that and stage 6 made me very wary of what I was about to see. And I was like, this could be genuinely terrifying if I could see literally anything that was happening on screen. So there was a kind of underwhelming beginning. And then I was a little worried when I saw Daryl in a suit with a Bible, because I was like, this isn't right.
Yeah, I don't like Daryl in a suit with a Bible or with short hair, it turns out. I don't trust a short-haired Reedus.
Well, this is this is the thing, because this is the last project he did before Walking Dead started.
Yeah.
And after Walking Dead started, he couldn't cut his hair.
Well,
For
I
like 10
imagine
years.
so. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I imagined if he had a role outside of The Walking Dead, and they're like, "So we really want you to play this drill sergeant from the Marines." He's like, "Great." So I keep
Yeah.
the long hair,
And it's even
and they're like, "No, you got to cut the hair. You're a Marine sergeant." He's like, "But we could have a sergeant with like the long hair."
and it goes beyond that, because at some point it became, if any characters were going to be killed off, it was such a guarded secret that even if you were killed on screen, you weren't allowed to change your appearance, because that would tip anyone seeing, someone seeing you in public that you were off the show.
Yeah.
So because I mean that happened. He didn't die, but Andrew Lincoln suddenly had a huge beard, and then suddenly he was clean shaven. And people were like, "Oh no, Rick's gonna die!
Oh fuck, he's gonna die!
He's gonna die!" And it turned out, no, actually, he was just gonna shave.
Yeah,
it was the Alexandria season, so he just had access to running water and a razor.
Did you finish Walking Dead?
I did, yeah. I wish I hadn't.
I didn't. I didn't last till the end.
It's by the end of it, it feels like those final seasons of shows which are not the shows you started watching.
Yeah, right.
By the time you get to the end of it, you go, "This was not the show I started." I could literally be watching anything at this point.
That was a test. You fell into my trap. You were supposed to say, "I'm not going down that road." Failed.
Oh, I listen. I am not on board with the tangent police. Fascist pigs, the tangent police. But the film seems to know this innately, that this is the wrong look for Daryl, because for proto Daryl, because immediately he's got the jackets off and he's fixing shit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's like, that's the look.
He's working the water pump.
And I can't think of any other actor who is as much a manual laborer on screen as he is an actor.
Right. Jesus, I'm going to have to edit out a lot of stomach grumbling for this episode. I must be hungry.
You know what satiates your appetite? Tangents.
I could feed myself tangents.
I swear that I'll have fewer problems with this movie as it goes on, but right now I'm kind of front-loading a lot of my problems with the movie. And the next one is they're the least... When the family are first introduced, I go, I don't believe this at all.
That they're a family?
Well, they all look wrong together, and the ages of the children and parents are not kind of delineated well enough for me to be comfortable. So his daughter looks like it could be his girlfriend.
The daughter looks like it could be his wife.
Yeah.
In some, yeah. I did keep having thoughts of, I wonder how much Norman Reedus hit on his own daughter during the filming of this movie.
Absolutely, right? Because he's he's younger than he looks, and she's older than she's supposed to be.
I guess I didn't know that actor really well, but she still looked familiar to me, the daughter, so I was looking her up, and there was some big hullabaloo because she's Australian, I think, and she had gotten a role on a really big Australian soap opera, and it was like a hullabaloo because after 1 year she quit, and I guess people stay on that show forever to be kind of make it to America. And she's like, well, looks like I'm making it to America. I got this role in this film. They're like, what? And they killed her off immediately.
Yeah. No mercy. It's Cobra.
Yeah, no mercy.
It's fucking Cobra.
Cobra Kai.
It's Cobra Kai rules in Australian in soap operas. Well, James Franco talked about that, didn't he? He sort of said,
right.
When he was on General Hospital, I think it was, he was like, I assumed that when I left, after, I said, I'm going to do X number of episodes, and I assumed after I left, they'd stop using the character. Nope, they just recast it.
Yep.
They had no attachment whatsoever to this Hollywood
no attachment
star.
to you, sir.
Well, and at this point, I start to warm towards the movie because when they start
secret door to the Scarecrow,
when they start talking about financial problems on the farm, I was like, oh yeah, movies are supposed to be about something. This is
Exactly. You get normal, like a normal choice.
yeah.
What normally happens in movies.
Well, and 2009 movie specifically, I'm going, okay, I can relate this to the post-2008 economic downturn and rural America at basically any time in its history.
Yeah,
it's always on the verge of collapse. Financially.
Mm-hmm.
Never not collapsing American agriculture.
Not embarrassing their local farmers by having the seed owner give him the boot out of the store.
And then
it's not my fault.
And then,
not my fault, John Rollins. Your fault.
I think I saw Daryl punch a crow in the beak. Did you notice that?
I don't think
he's shooing away the crows, and it looks like he punches one in the beak as he does it. It's like, I know they're ruining the crop, but you can't do that.
I cut my hand on the beak of that fucking crow. Well, there loses our PETA credit.
And that offended me, because I basically have a pet crow now.
I think you mentioned that once.
Yeah, it's a wild crow. He comes, and I feed him like semi-daily now.
Yeah, well, they're smart crows.
Unbelievably smart.
Yeah, they're problem-solving smart crows.
Yeah, and they also, if you treat them badly, they'll remember. No, but they
let's make a movie out of that.
Well, yeah,
that's orca level. Let's go.
Yeah, because most animals, like, they can't distinguish people, but crows can remember if you've treated them badly or treated them well.
Most Americans can't distinguish people. A lot of them voted for Trump. No distinguishing there.
Yep. I was like, that's just a ball of fat with a toupee. No, that's our president.
How many listeners did I alienate? Do we alienate?
I don't care anymore.
No, yeah. Because end times. It's time to stop caring.
Hashtag end times problems, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he finds the spooky Scarecrow, and I like...
It's bad, Daddy.
I like...
The kid says it out loud immediately. It's bad, Daddy.
I like the...
You're just going to gloss over that because it's such a good point. The kid knows.
The kid knows. No, I'm not glossing over that. I just don't see anything.
Fucking dumb of a fucking farmer can't figure shit out.
It doesn't bump me.
All right.
What I like about the scene is they trust the actor and the prop to carry the scene. That they're not doing anything beyond, like, the normalcy of it is what's scary.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's just a guy with this weird looking scarecrow.
Yeah.
And the only real kind of nod towards horror they have is, aside from the creepiness of the object, is that you see a slight movement caught in the shot.
I was going to say.
Really really subtly done.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
And it was the first time I was like, okay, this is competent horror that I'm watching.
And competent filmmaking.
Yeah.
Which we're not getting in any of these other movies.
No, absolutely not. Unless exterior vehicular action is involved. Vehicular action only. I'm not saying exterior action. I'm saying it has to involve a vehicle. And, Norman Reedus is a good actor to watch.
Yeah.
Just go about their day.
Yeah.
As Walking Dead, that's why he was such a fan favorite in Walking Dead, is it's like you literally could just have a scene, no dialogue, where he's fixing a bike. And people are like, Daryl is our favorite person in the world.
He's our favorite person. But that moment actually kind of leads to that, because the idea of him, the moment where he notices the slight movement, and he shows you everything non-verbally. I see that. I'm suspicious of that. It's probably in my head. I'll go back to fixing shit. And he has the same thing in Walking Dead, where he can fix a bike, but he can also, because so much of the Walking Dead world is, do I trust these people or not? And him gauging people is another big kind of part of that show, I think, and it just works.
I remember when they first arrive in Alexandria, spoilers, it doesn't go anywhere. Um, he's got like he's killed a possum and he's like got it on his back and he just drops it and he's going, "I brought dinner." And then this is where we first see Richard Reel as the ghost, not ghost.
Yeah, give an advice. Don't listen to your son. Put that thing up. It's a good idea.
I really thought that they were.
I wonder if I'll turn out to be evil later.
I really thought that as he was.
Here's some beer. You're a recovering alcoholic? Here's some beer for you.
I really thought that when he walked away, they were going to do the Field of Dreams disappearing into the cornfield.
Well, they do the Field of Dreams just a couple minutes later. I mean, he's got
the
that
story is
Scarecrow
Field of Dreams.
For 3.5 seconds before he's hearing voices.
This is Field of Dreams without baseball, basically.
Yeah.
But he
What a great name, by the way. Weatherby? Come on, Jude Weatherby?
And he's got, another line that carries meaning, which again I forgot was a thing until I watched this movie.
Yeah.
He says, "A hell of a thing to go to war with the rich." That's interesting.
Yes, right.
That's where most of America is right now. All but 1% of America is at war with the rich. And you can't win that war.
Well, no. I mean, 1% is the rich, and then 50% is not at war with the rich, but should be. They just don't realize
Yeah,
it.
yeah. They might not know they're at war with the
49%
rich. But...
realizes they're at war with the rich, and that.
Well, you're at war with the rich whenever you have to pay for something.
Yeah,
because the only reason you're paying that amount is because the rich are making you do it. And
I have a note here. Did you have this note? I was like, because this character of John Rollins, Reedus, he just seems downtrodden and very unhappy with his home life. And I have this note that says, his wife is wonderful, so supportive. What is this guy's fucking problem?
Yeah, so it's interesting, and again, this is kind of interesting in terms of what we thought about masculinity in 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sort of, it's a now accepted idea that men should be in touch with their feelings, and it's kind of his resistance to that impulse that's causing a lot of the
problems,
the tension and the conflict in here. Which is kind of interesting because it's normally the other way. It's kind of normally the other way round. Like that's the accepted form of masculinity that he's not conforming to. Whereas this story 10 years before would be about him not being enough of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this you defined in terms of being a kind of rugged, self-made adventurer.
He would be the guy who, I don't know, my wife convinced me to buy a farm and I'm not good at it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, the homesteader, the guy who actually just wants to go out there and shoot people of color on the frontier. That's what he does best.
That's my strength.
That's what the West was built on. What are you talking about?
I got another stealing music note.
Ooh.
That I have to imagine at this point you didn't notice.
I like that.
And you're supposed to be the music guy.
Yeah, we're in a weird alternate reality where I'm focused on the visuals, you're focused on the audio. Go ahead.
Last movie, they're stealing from The Fugitive. This movie, I'm hearing notes that sound like music from Shawshank.
Yeah, I likened it to Witness.
Oh, nice.
Which I suppose makes sense, because that is another barn-forward movie.
Lots of silos.
I always remember John Waters saying that, people say my movies are offensive, but, I find the barn-raising scene in Witness offensive. Why do I have to be made to sit through that? There's an interesting...
Good work with the hammer there, English.
Doers! There's a good Crow note. There's good Crow trivia in this scene, because Richard Reel mentions that they shit where they eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned this firsthand after deciding to feed a crow.
After feeding your crow?
After feeding a crow on the balcony outside my apartment is now littered with bird shit.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They eat the nut and then they look you in the eye and Drop trow.
Shit right there.
Fucking hell. They don't care.
Throw something in that.
I think they mean it as a compliment, quite frankly. They're like, I trust you enough, I think is what they're saying.
I don't know. If anything passes through me that quickly, that's why I'm eyeing you. You fucking...
Well, you know, I am feeding them Cheetos.
No wonder they're upset.
I'm kidding. Of course I'm not. The most bougie I ever gave it was a sliced almond because I had nothing else to give them.
Mm.
Do you think it's a coincidence that the Scarecrow looks like an unlicensed Freddy Krueger action doll? Or is that just inevitable when you do any Scarecrow in a horror movie that it's going to have that public domain
He
Freddy
does have
Krueger
that
look?
He does have that burnt face quality.
And again, like, mostly, I guess probably my attachment to this movie is that they don't feel the need to put dialogue in where it doesn't need to be. And that they're happy to use action to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And just visual language, like
like 1,000 dead crows.
We'll get that's great, by the way. I mean, that's how to do horror on a budget. That's how you get your budget down to $2 million.
Right.
Just poison a bunch of crows. That didn't cost you nothing. But there's...
I love that Rita steps out on his porch, picks up a dead crow. He's like, well, that's odd. But guess I'll get these other 500 crows.
I love visual symbolism in film when it's done properly, and we could have had a whole scene about how his son was having trouble. You know, like a scene where he and the mother are talking about how he's having trouble growing up and leaving childhood behind. But just seeing him carry a stuffed rabbit around wherever he goes is enough.
Yeah, right.
That does. Then you don't need to have that conversation. And I just wish more filmmakers would learn from the. It's so simple when it's like, how do we show the audience that without adding a scene where we talk about it?
Do you really think he should be carrying that rabbit around everywhere?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he loves his rabbit. Yeah, but he's 13.
Exactly. See? Your movie's already a minute longer than it needs to be.
Yep.
They really misjudged the father-daughter casting, though, because every time he interacts with his daughter, I'm like,
they're about to start fucking.
Yeah, it's like she really could be his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And also the way they deal with alcoholism's great because they don't never say he's an alcoholic.
They never say it. Yeah.
Richard Reel gives him the beer, and you see he's kind of tentative, but it might be because Richard Reel is a ghost. It's like, I don't want your fucking ghost beer.
Man, he handed me that 6-pack, and then his hand disappeared into a puff of smoke. That's probably I'm just hot.
Ghost beer
It's a hot day.
Ghost beer must be like one step down from light beer.
It tastes like ash.
Tastes like burning. But it's dealt with deftly, like, because then his wife is like, he says, "Oh, I brought around the 6-pack," and and he says, "You took it."
She goes, "So,"
yeah. And he's like, "Well, I didn't want to make him feel bad." Yeah, and that's fine. Fine ways to tell the audience about the characters rather than beginning. It's like you're an alcoholic, which is the other way it could have gone down.
Why would you take that beer if you know you can't drink beer?
If
you're an alcoholic,
yeah,
remember?
You're an alcoholic, remember?
Right? Yeah.
I know I'm an alcoholic, honey.
We should take our first break.
We should. Will we?
We will.
The answer is yes.
All right, we'll take a break and be right back. Right after this.
I like to think I know something about beer, but nowadays even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need, the Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They'll try new beers, they'll tell you about beers. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom and I are here discussing the better filmmaking at play in Messengers 2, The Scarecrow.
Interesting you said better and not good. I like that that's your line in the sand. It's like, this is better, yes. Not good, but it's better. I think that was a line in my one-man Bond show.
Yeah?
At the beginning of You to a Kill. I'm skiing again, but it's different. I said, oh no, it's different. I said different, not good.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, kind of along the lines of what you were saying before, there's this moment coming up where the bank guy kind of offers to sell the house, and it's going to kind of unravel itself a little bit when he's talking on the phone when he gets killed. But I love that this guy is in the film presenting himself as like a true honest friend to Norman Reedus and just trying to help him out. And like, will you just listen to me? But you can tell there's like a nefarious, not helpful reason why he wants to do that.
And it's a character.
And all of that's at play without being overt about it in the scene with Reedus, which I like.
And also the scene is written to be conducive to the nature of the financial crisis that America's going through at the moment, because it's the Daryl, because you use his actual name, but
I think we just have to keep saying Daryl.
Well, that was so weird because I corrected myself. I was about to say Norman Reedus, and then I corrected myself to Daryl, as if I was like, oh, I'm not going to use his real name. I'm going to use his character name from Walking Dead.
He's Daryl.
He points out the difference between poverty and recession. He's like, we're in a recession. I'm not poor. Right?
Yeah,
I have assets. The assets have depreciated, not me. I'm not poor.
Right.
I'm able to make money. I just can't right now because the president.
Shit's gone on.
Because Republicans.
Yeah.
Hashtag Republican president problems. So I love that that's written to demonstrate that. Because, the economy doesn't get that kind of treatment in genre movies most of the time.
Yeah.
But it's clear that that's the distinction.
The confusion you were talking about earlier that I never got with Richard Ryle, I got in spades with his wife. Because she shows up carrying groceries down the middle of the road. And then the sprinklers go off and she just starts undressing and giving us the tits.
Yeah, we go from it's wet t-shirt.
And I thought for sure, like, he's seeing things, ghost. And then she appears later and I'm like, oh, his wife, so she's real. Oh, no, wait, if she's the wife of him and he's a ghost, then she's a ghost too, Yeah. So I think the movie does that better with her than it does with him. Because I really thought he was just seeing things. But this is also one of the points where I started to like the movie less because he does a despicable thing. He sees a naked woman for like 3.5 seconds, and he's like, well, I'm going to go fuck my wife whether she wants to or not. And he goes and rapes his own wife. And I thought, well, I don't like him or that.
Yes, and So the issue.
You were careful to say "and" instead of "but."
What? Obviously, I got to point out that this is another the wet t-shirt contest that goes into full softcore pornography is another one of those soft porn Schrodinger's cat moments that you get in video sequels. Right?
Yeah,
the rest of the movie could be fucking, but we have a scene beforehand where we see what sex between these two people is supposed to look like.
True.
And that it's about that we see that these are two people who love and desire each other. So this scene is obviously partly there to show something is fucking with
the influence of the Scarecrow.
The influence of Scarecrow, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you didn't have that earlier scene, you would just assume that, he likes a bit of rape in his bedroom activities. But we've contrasted it with the consensual loving sex. So we see...
I wake up, I have frosted flakes, then I rape.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the movie's relatively careful about that this is the effect of the Scarecrow setting in.
I guess it felt a little soon for me for the Scarecrow to... Because this is really the only moment where you feel that. Otherwise... No, I guess that's not true.
No.
He doesn't seem to care about people dying and stuff.
And
all right.
Yeah,
I'll shut up.
Exactly, yeah. That's it. That's you see it gradually layer into his behavior overall.
Yeah.
And again, if you hadn't have had the good sex scene beforehand, and this hadn't continued, his morality hadn't continued to degrade in the way it does, it would be ridiculous. It would be offensive.
I guess I would rather just see them reversed, because in the scene after this, of course, the bank guy is putting out the foreclosure signs, which is just designed to make him sell, and then gets himself run over by a semi-truck. And I love that the cop says, yeah, I got, his shoe was out there by your farm, and then the guy got to wherever, he got to Dallas, and the guy was stuck under his truck. He thought it was a deer. Like, that poor guy was just dragged many, many states away.
That's great.
Hilarious. But in that moment, the cop is telling him and his wife that this has happened, and the wife is like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And he's like, interesting. Solves a problem for me. And the wife is like, you're being a real piece of shit. Like, that's a lower step. They start with rape and then go down to, kind of helpful. So I'd rather have those things be reversed.
I'll accept that. Proposed change.
All right.
I tell you what there's no excuse for is it not explaining why the egg that she's cracking into the pan is pre-scrambled in the shell. The egg goes in with the whites and the yolks already mixed, which I didn't think was...
Shook it.
I did
Shook it.
shook the egg in the... Is that what you're supposed to do? You mentioned the cop, and I recognize this actor.
Oh, really?
He's a British actor.
Oh, well, you have an unfair advantage.
Well, I have an even more unfair advantage because I saw him at the Edinburgh Festival in 2004 and or 2005. I can't remember which. In a production of Sexual Perversity in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Which you will probably know as the...
About Last Night.
There you go, exactly. I knew you would. And then I've kind of vaguely followed this guy through British TV and now into US video.
Well, he's kind of a...
It wasn't like a professional production. This was like a guy who was doing the same kind of theatre as I had, except he gets to be in sequels and I get to talk about him. That's how our lives has gone. No bitterness at all.
Yeah, he's a kind of form of a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
He shows up and there's a reason for it. He'll get slapped around in the barn later.
Do you know what? Another link to our podcast is that I previously saw him in a British TV drama about the Moors murderers, where Ian Brady, who was one of the Moors murderers, was played by The guy from Mission Impossible. The villain from Mission Impossible. What's his name?
You'll have to be more specific.
From Rogue Nation and Fallout. Scary British
I don't
guy.
remember it. Sean Harris.
Sean Harris. There you go.
I was gonna say I don't remember his name, and then I remembered his name. Look at that. Minimum butt pulling.
Why do you think? I don't know why I kind of zeroed in on the food in this movie, but is it normal for like farm families to eat specifically buy French bread?
No, that's a movie trope.
Yeah, because it's always French bread in the.
It's always French bread in a grocery bag
because it sticks out of the grocery bag.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've never heard it verbalized whether specifically like, go get some French bread.
You know how we like it. For dinner and breakfast.
It's like that's someone who's been working in movies for too long that they've forgotten that people don't actually eat French bread. They only have it in movies because it sticks out of the bag.
Yeah.
It gets. I mean, where it starts to feel really like one of those hour-long Twilight Zone episodes is when he finds money in the cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
and a watch.
Yeah, it's like
or is that later? Is it wallet and money first?
Yeah, it's like that's when I realized that this was becoming a moral fable about wish fulfillment.
Yeah,
that's what we were, and also a horror riff on Field of Dreams because of all the voices he's hearing in his cornfield.
He's hearing voices straight away. I guess, part of the reason this became second on my list.
Kill him and they will come.
Yeah, exactly. Part of my problem is that Norman Reedus' character is so easily manipulated by Weatherby in this movie, because my next note is, well, literally it says Weatherby easily manipulates him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I guess I know who wears the pants in this family. And then he literally walks out of the cornfield and says, I'm leaving. She's like, where are you going? He's like, well, you wear the pants in this family. Why don't you do something about it? And then just leaves and goes and gets the right number of seeds and pays his bills with his dirt cornfield money.
That was Captain Beefheart's best album, Dirt Cornfield Money. I did write at this point probably a ghost.
Okay, good. I already knew.
The Twilight Zone feeling was in. I was like looking at Richard Reel and going, if Richard Reel was an actor in the '60s, which I don't know, he'd be a child apparently.
Mm-hmm.
In the first run of the Twilight Zone, he could have been in one of the '80s ones. But if they were remaking the Twilight Zone today, he would be a great. I can imagine him playing an angel in something in the Twilight Zone.
Right.
The Jordan Peele ones aren't as old-timey Americana, so I think it has to be those old-timey Americana Twilight Zones, but now they're all edgy and trying to ape Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. But the original Twilight Zones, like, 1 out of every 100 was experimental, and the rest were just O. Henry.
Right.
Just
straightforward.
O. Henry stories, basically.
We're going to kick the can.
It's interesting that you said that they probably should have worked up to the rape, because I think this dickish turn that we know is part of something supernatural to do with the Scarecrow is played really well by Reedus. Like Daryl has that side as well, right? He's because the first time we see Daryl, he tries to beat the shit out of what's his name, the lead character,
his own brother,
Rick. I already said it in this episode. What the fuck is wrong with me? Yeah, because no, not yet. He doesn't do that because he left.
Okay.
Because he left Merle on the roof in Atlanta,
right,
and forced him to cut off his own hand.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he's the brother of an absolute psychopath, both actor and character. I saw him. I don't know why this has become so autobiographical, but during Comic-Con, I saw him in a Starbucks in downtown San Diego. It was like drinking an iced coffee drink, and someone called out to him, and he said, "Have a terrible day," and then walked away. Michael Rooker there.
What a perfect description of Michael Rooker.
Amazing, isn't it? That was probably, I mean, I'm sure we'll get there, so I'm probably blowing future commentary, but in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when he's floating down on the umbrella, he said, "Look at me, I'm Mary Poppins!"
Yeah. I'd half expect him in a coffee shop in downtown San Diego to kind of, do a little whistle, and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't have my arrow. Kill you later."
What? But why on earth would you call out to Henry portrait of a serial killer in public? You're just asking to be killed, isn't it?
They put a lot of, because my next note is like he comes home and the wife is talking to the dick that he's kind of jealous of.
Is he a dick, Tommy?
Well, that's the thing, is like they lay a lot of groundwork. This guy's a troublemaker, and then he's in and out of the movie really quickly.
I mean, he wants to sleep with her.
Sure.
So, that's where it gets a little bit confusing as well, because it's not paranoia.
Right.
What he's seeing is really, like, it would be better if part of the spell,
if he was duller hiding it.
Exactly. A part of the spell was that he saw a completely innocent encounter between this guy and his wife as an overture for sex, which is exactly what
it is.
Exactly what it is. Yeah, I would like to have.
Well, if you need any help or want your panties off with a penis inside you, give me a call. I think that guy's a bit of a dick. Yeah, you're right. That part you got right. We'll kill him.
It's interesting that you said that. I forgot that Todd Farmer did a Friday the 13th movie, or wrote a Friday the 13th movie, because he's got good basic horror instincts for very elemental horror stuff that works. Like you already mentioned the Field of Dead Crows, Tooth in the Corn.
Yeah, right.
That's just kind of like, because there's one of the archetypal anxiety dreams is your teeth falling out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really good, and I don't know about you, but I've never been able to think about, when I'm eating corn on the cob, there's never a point where I think, what if one of my teeth falls out and sticks in the corn? I think
one thing's for sure, I often sit on my porch with a basket of corn on the cob and 6 beers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just farmers.
Maybe. I remember years ago.
Is that farmer late night shenanigans?
Years ago, I saw a Jerry Springer episode, and it was about this hillbilly whose teeth were loose, like all his teeth were loose, and he grabbed a corn on the cob and started chewing on it, and you could see his teeth moving up and down and inside there, and he was going up to the audience members doing it, and they were going. So obviously it's traumatized me.
I'll say.
And then there's what I described as a glitch dream, in which Daryl becomes the Scarecrow.
Yes, I skipped. I didn't write that down, but I'm remembering it.
Yeah, and it's a very video sequel dream sequence.
Yeah,
it's like, we'll just make it glitchy, and he'll be the Scarecrow.
Well, it spooks him enough to try and take the Scarecrow down.
Mm.
He hurts his hand or something, right?
Yeah.
So he hurts his hand once, and then he wraps it up, but then he goes back out as though he's going to try again. And I wrote down he gets slapped around by corn stalks.
Probably that crow that he punched, like just kind of pulling it back with its beak and spring-loading it in his face. It's like, we always remember.
Right.
Yeah, that would be amazing if this movie was about... It really wasn't about the Scarecrow at all, but it was a crow. The crow he punched in the beak. exacting their
All
revenge,
along.
just psychologically tormenting him. Because because crows would totally do that. They would remember. Well, and so Tommy dies.
Who's Tommy?
The guy who's trying to sleep with his wife.
Oh, yeah, that's sleeping with them. Wants to sleep with a wife. That's right.
Which again,
unperturbed, right?
Yeah, and I that was like he accepts it.
He's more like, well, that's a shame.
He accepts it in the way we accept it as the audience.
Yeah, right.
We're like, yeah, I kind of thought that was happening. I kind of thought that would happen. And then my next note is we have another Shining reference with him going around the cornfield with an axe. Like it's
yeah, because he just chops it down and sets it on fire.
And he's an alcoholic dad, so I guess it's even more of a reference than the rubber axe in Cell 2. What happens after that? Where are you now?
I don't know. I have some weird notes here.
Oh, go on then. Yeah, I do. I have weird notes as well. You read out your weird notes and see if they match my weird notes.
My weird notice is he sees the girl ghost gets stabbed.
Yes. A kid gets impaled. Okay, that matches.
Okay. Well, because when I wrote girl ghost, I was like, do I mean the adult neighbor?
No, it's the girl ghost. And before that, she says, "Do you know where your wife and children are?"
That's right. Yeah.
TV PSA.
After that, I wrote family gone.
I told you last night. No.
And then I wrote that he looked up and saw the Scarecrow again, and he's like, "Oh, it must be that Scarecrow." That's another thing about this movie, though. It's like in the last 10 minutes of the movie, it's a suspiciously long time before he says out loud, I think it's the Scarecrow.
Is it because he's the dad? Like they don't want to ask directions. They don't want to admit,
maybe
they don't want to admit that their son was right.
But this whole time, the wife is like, "You're acting weird, and you don't even care that this guy died."
Yeah.
There's not a single moment where he goes, "Maybe it's a Scarecrow."
Well, we know we're watching a supernatural movie. The people in the supernatural movie shouldn't be so willing to accept the supernatural without thinking of other possible motivations first.
Overwhelming evidence at this point.
And he doesn't know Richard, like me, he doesn't know Richard Rill is a ghost yet.
Great.
Yeah. This is where I started wondering, as I do, I get, probably at the same point in all of the movies whose originals I've not seen. I was like, does this have anything to do with the original? Like, what's the original about?
I kept asking myself, is there even a Scarecrow in the original?
Well, probably not. But is the original
so.
About ghosts in a cornfield?
I remember I looked it up, and
my best guess would be that the only link between this and the original movie is that book that we see later on in the movie, the spell book.
Oh, the spell book. Yeah.
The Bible. They're both Christian allegories. Although I did have that thought once or twice later on in this movie.
It's about a family that moves to a North Dakota sunflower farm and is terrorized by malevolent spirits.
Okay, so ghosts in the cornfield is pretty much sunflowers rather than corn, but same shit. Different day. Okay.
The film follows the family struggle to understand and survive the haunting. So that matches.
Yeah. Well,
he's having trouble understanding the haunting.
You can tell it's written by the same person.
Yeah.
It really matters.
Oh, wait, is it? I don't even know. Is this a Todd Farmer, that first one?
Yeah, he wrote and directed both of them. I mean, not directed. He wrote.
He didn't direct.
No, he wrote both of them. It says that it's in my credit check.
Yeah. Okay.
And we mentioned it.
But
I think on the ranking episode.
He wrote it. He wrote the first one with someone else. Mark Wheaton.
Will Wheaton's brother.
I kind of want to watch it.
Well, we can. We can watch it on Patreon anytime you like.
Okay. We can watch that and The Cell, the two movies we liked. Well, the one movie that each of us liked.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. I got another food and drink note. I don't know what. I must have been so hungry when I was watching this movie. And it's
your fucking problem.
It's that the fake Pabst Blue Ribbon beer that he's drinking is so fucking close. The logo is so fucking close to actual Pabst Blue Ribbon. I was like, you can still get sued, you know? And you can, if you have the same color and basically the same image, it's still copyright infringement, you know? You have to do something different. Just because it doesn't say Pabst Blue Ribbon, it'll say something like, you know, Pete's
Red Ribbon.
Pete's aqua Pete's aqua necklace or something. Pete's aqua scarf.
Pete's aqua frilly string.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that Norman Reedus goes through the process in this single film, the way that he's kind of dirtied up throughout the movie, and the way that the next 10 years of his life he's going to be dirtied up by one TV show. Yeah.
This movie leads perfectly into his dirty.
well, except it doesn't, because he was like, okay, time to get clean, and I will never be clean again.
Right.
To wait another 10 years before I can be clean. Actually, it's not ended, has he? Because he's still doing Daryl Dixon.
Yeah.
So he hasn't had a bath for 13...
Where is he? He's in France or something for that?
And then Britain.
Okay.
He went to France. First, I mean, I don't know. I don't
Are you watching all of that?
No, but I watched the pilot episode because I wanted to know how he...
What's he get on a boat?
Yeah, that was it. I was just like, I don't want to watch this show, but I want to know how he gets to France.
Yeah, right.
And literally, the first scene is just him arriving on a raft to France, and I'm like, well, that's not an explanation.
Raft?
Yeah, he's on it, like, he's just rafting.
What?
Yeah, so it's like
with Wilson?
It's like Joe versus the volcano. He's playing golf on it.
Is he going full Millhouse with the oars? Like...
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, so if you're not going to explain it to me, I don't have time for you.
Yeah, right.
But the second season is in Britain because Stephen Merchant is in it.
Oh, okay. So they have that show, and it's him and what's her name together? Not Cheryl. Carol?
Yeah. Not in the one I saw. Maybe she turns up later.
So they have that one. Now they have Rick and Michonne together, and then they have
Negan and Maggie.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's very dumb. They just, sometimes you just gotta let go. Do something else.
Yeah. Find another thing.
The Everything Sequel podcast says, eventually you gotta let it go and do something else.
And this is our business.
I know. Even
we want more.
If we're saying that, imagine what people who aren't invested in sequels
we want nothing
are
but sequels.
Yeah.
And we want you to stop.
And we say it's too much sequel.
Well, I wrote down that he gets his rape comeuppance because he gets raped by Richard Riel's wife.
Yeah, it's. My favorite line from One Battle After Another was.
I thought you were gonna say my favorite line about rape.
Well, yeah, it is. My favorite line in One Battle After Another is when Sean Penn says he was raped in reverse. I'm like, and he says that, but we don't see it. But here it is. This is what it looks like being raped in reverse.
Raped in reverse. You just have to hit your head on a lamp first.
Yeah, it's kind of. Again, that
Be a little woozy.
Softcore video erotica rearing its ugly head again. There's nothing, and again, and the reason I love that line in One Battle After Another is because it's pure male fantasy. The idea that you can be raped in reverse, and this is that male fantasy.
Yeah.
That you can do it and you have no agency.
Laid out to bear, so to speak, by Todd Farmer. And then she rapes him. You know, how women do.
How women are known to do, historically.
Yeah, right.
That's the real problem. It's the women out there raping men. That's the problem.
Raping men.
It's not the
It's
hypocrisy.
just a big problem. It's men raping women.
It's not the hypocrisy. It's the raping.
That's the disclosure idea of this movie.
Yeah, exactly. Disclosure. And you can tell how much this movie speaks to real domestic issues, because I was watching this on Tubi, as is my wont, and to not spend money.
That was also part of my problem. That's the real reason this movie dipped. It's the only movie I watched on Tubi, and 73 commercials in, I was frustrated.
Yeah. But I looked up. I thought the movie had restarted, and it was a BetterHelp ad with like a dad who was like, "Oh, I'm just so overwhelmed." You know, I was just like, "Oh, the movie started." You go, "Oh no, it's just a BetterHelp ad."
Norman Reedus got fed up and left set one day, and this guy came in to take over.
Yeah, Todd Farmer's not. He's not like a Christian conservative, is he? Because I started to get a kind of.
I doubt it.
I know it doesn't feel right, but like the nature of his fall from grace is very much
Reedus or Farmer.
Reedus is very much the idea of like what a Christian man in 2000 might missing church, drinking, philandering.
Yeah, right.
This is a Christian conservative construct of what morality is for men, and how to fall short.
But
of
I
it.
think that's a byproduct of how you, in this kind of story, that's how you want to show that.
I that's what I couldn't distinguish whether this was one of those faith-based movies that Fathom Events seems to specialize in these days.
Yes.
Or whether it was just, this is the easiest way to show that he's falling from grace.
Yeah, I think it's more the easiest way.
The overlap between Christian conservative storytelling and bad storytelling is vast. It's a chunky Venn diagram. Yes.
You know those Venn diagrams where it's just like on the outer edge of one circle, you see the other circle just on the inside of it?
Yeah.
Maybe we should take one last break.
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we're
these
getting
notes.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do that and take a break and come right back. You're probably listening to, like a little bit better music that makes sense for the movie we're talking about.
I'm going to say you're listening to some elegiac fiddle music right now.
Well, we'll get to see if you're right. Eventually. Right after this.
You got to listen to the notes he's not playing.
I already said right after this. You can't just keep talking shit right after that.
Did you know that the Everything Sequel podcast has a sequel? It's our Patreon, and for a low monthly donation, you can get up to 2 exclusive, full-length, ad-free bonus episodes. $5 a month gets you an episode discussing all the original movies from the series we've covered on the podcast. And that's a lot of snakeheads. But $10 a month scores you the reboot to boot. Support Everything Sequel on Patreon and reap the benefits of amazing brand new content you quite literally can't get anywhere else. Got more money than sense? We also offer one-time payments that will get you in the driver's seat of the podcast. Maybe even the passenger seat. That metaphor doesn't work, but our show does. So join the Patreon and believe the hype. It's a sequel.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, finishing up with Messenger 2, the Scarecrow. I was looking over my notes and I wrote down for that rape scene, he hits his head and gets power fucked by Mrs. Weatherby.
That's exactly what happened, yeah.
That is what happens.
It's like a wrestling move that turned into penetrative sex.
The head hitting seemed like an accident, but when she gets on top of him, it seems as though that was her plan all along.
Mm-hmm. This is where I started to think, when they got the spell book out from underneath the floorboards of the trailer, if indeed trailers have floorboards, I was like, oh, they're real human magicians. They're not ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
They're just magicians. They're just real human magicians.
Right.
I thought that would be a good twist, but because whenever I suspect,
But that turned out not to happen.
Whenever I suspect anyone's a ghost in a movie, I don't know if you do this, but I have a system where I'm like, has anyone else interacted with this character?
Right. Yeah.
Because if they haven't, typically it's a ghost.
Yeah.
And that was definitely the case. And then they put the spell book out, and I was like, maybe this is just human magic that they're dealing in. But then, of course, we get the scene that I was expecting all along in a few minutes, where his wife is like, "No, you weren't talking to anyone, and there's no one there, and you never said this." Right. And it's like, oh, there goes.
What are you talking about? Yeah. There's nobody there.
You burnt that rug yourself.
Hey, what happens right after that rape? Because I wrote down, was it worth it? Is that something that somebody says?
Richard Reel says that, yeah. He
Okay.
Yeah.
I went with the less common spelling of WHAS.
As in, what's up?
Must have been writing fast.
You see, that's a good 2009 man who can admit to his own mistakes right there.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's the model of masculinity that Norman Reedus is falling short of. Yeah.
I don't rape.
Well, this is where I thought that if anything dovetailed with the original movie, it was here, with the secret tunnel, the photos from Scarecrow history that they're looking at. I was like, I will be so impressed if this was in the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's photos, I assume it is.
I wrote down an hour and 17 minutes in, and no one has said, I think it's the Scarecrow. And I love this line that Weatherby keeps saying of like, you planted the seeds, John. Because that feels, you can almost like imagine that being said offhandedly at the beginning of a Stephen King novel and just keep coming back.
Or the last line in a Twilight Zone where, Richard Reel's walking away, turns around and goes, you planted the seeds, John. And then, then Norman Reedus turns into a big seed.
I wrote down an hour and 17 minutes.
Planet of the Seeds.
No one said it's the Scarecrow, and then I put an hour and 25 in. He finally says it's the Scarecrow.
See? It wasn't too far away.
An hour and 25 minute into an hour and 48 minute movie.
Yeah.
It's late.
Yeah, it is. I like the cyclical nature of storytelling. That, like, the last time when Richard Reel comes to see him, and the first time they met, he was like, sorry, I don't mean to trespass on your property. He's like, no, come in. And then it ends with him going...
It's like he got permission, like a vampire.
Yeah. But then at the end of it, like, at the end of this scene, it ends with Norman Reedus shouting, get off my property!
Yeah.
So he was like a welcome trespasser, now he's an unwanted one.
Right.
And then, we get the post-Fight Club... The Tyler Durden's not real kind of... Sorry, spoilers for that. I don't... Do I need to give spoilers for a movie that's over 20 years old?
I think you should be okay.
I think so.
You've had more than 2 decades to watch it, everyone.
Brad Pitt's not real in that movie, but his physique is.
Yes.
Unfortunately for the rest of us men.
Yeah, we will not live up.
We've been chasing that body for the last 30 years.
I think I've told you that story, right?
Everyone wants it, yeah. Every fitness instructor.
Where, like, even every other, like, the guy who trained him, other actors, like, well, what do you want? That's the first thing he always says. And they're like, well, I'd like to look like it. He goes, I'm going to stop you right there. You will never look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. That was Brad Pitt only.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the Scarecrow kind of chases him into the cornfields, and there's Weatherby and his dead wife wrangling around on the ground awkwardly, trying to grab at them. Planted the seeds, I tells ya.
And isn't there a scene where they're looking through a keyhole at something? I just thought there was an opportunity to show a skull in a keyhole.
Back to Ghost House Pictures.
So we could do the Ghost House Pictures logo. Who produced? Come on, we're ahead of time. You tell me, what else did they make?
I'm not looking it up.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You will not entrap me, sir. Somehow they get separated, though. Like, the family is out in the cornfield, but the son gets back to the barn.
I like that.
And then the Scarecrow is now... This is one of the moments where I thought, like, this is exactly how these movies are supposed to work.
Yeah.
The Scarecrow has been inert. We're just looking him up there on his cross. He's looking mean. We had one slight look earlier, which was perfect. And now he's, like, walking about. And that's what these movies are supposed to do. It's like, now he's full on the enemy right in front of you. I thought that kid thought he was doing something smart, but was doing something dumb when he pushed that ladder down.
Yeah.
When he got up into the loft, I'm like, no, I mean, good try, but you have to pull it up into the loft, not push it down. He can still get it.
It's also an interesting variation on the crazed killer father a la The Shining. Because they're running away from him, but he's basically going, no, you completely misunderstood.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot they were in the house first.
They were going towards the danger, but they thought he was the danger.
Because he comes in with a knife or the side or something,
which,
right?
He is...
He looks like a maniac.
Yeah. And, he's raped his wife and doesn't seem to care about all the people who died and... About
all the deaths?
Yeah.
He does look suspicious. He's like, no, I'm sorry. It's the Scarecrow, I tell you.
It's very one-armed man, isn't it? It was the one-armed man. Again, perfect music sting. Da 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 da. And then it's interesting because the first scene of the movie, this is as close as we get to looping back to it. Because it's the little girl in the cornfield.
Yeah, right.
And then this scene kind of echoes that. But...
Yes.
Or explains what's happening in that scene.
Maybe.
At least imagistically, if not narratively.
I'll give you a maybe. Yeah,
I don't know where that incident falls in the overarching narrative, but I understand that that's something that could happen in this cornfield, given what's happening now.
Yeah, like, was that 19th century girl, or was that, like, 3 weeks before they bought the farm
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this, like you said, the Scarecrow coming to life in front of the boy is really elegantly handled. They just use puppetry, movement, lighting.
Right.
We
forgot to mention that the cop came back, too, because he gets knocked out in the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that fairly affecting, because the ladder does come back up.
Yeah.
And you think the Scarecrow is going to climb it, but it turns out it's the cop trying to help the kid, and then I think he dies, right?
Yeah, he does. He does die, yeah.
I do remember thinking, for poor Daryl, there's no coming back from that. You have to call somebody about that dead body, unless you're willing to dispose of it, and your only explanation is the Scarecrow killed him.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work.
It's true. Well, that's why we need a Messengers 3. Cop killer.
Messengers 3, get rid of the body. I could use the help of a scarecrow to get rid of this body.
Too bad we just as a family destroyed the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
I would say that the threat to the boy from the Scarecrow gets a little bit lost in the mix. Like,
yeah,
the idea that the Scarecrow's after him is kind of mentioned once with his reaction at the beginning of the movie, and then it's all been Daryl in between, and then it's the centerpiece of the finale is that the Scarecrow's after the boy, and it kind of, we needed more of his perspective throughout the movie, I think.
Yeah.
To see the Scarecrow as a threat to him specifically, rather than just in general to everything within Daryl's world.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is the next Walking Dead spin-off, Daryl's World. It's like Elmo's World, but it's Daryl Dixon. It's him with a little fish.
Hi, everybody. This is a zombie here. Say hello, Mr. Zombie.
A house drawn in crayon. Look, it's Mr. Noodle. Hi, Mr. Noodle.
I noticed, I think it's Lindsay is the name of the daughter. I can't remember what she sees. They all get back into the barn. There was a good rack focus.
Yes.
I noticed. A good little piece of filmmaking where I thought, yes!
And
this is so much better than everything else I'm going to watch.
Have watched and are going to watch, yes.
Yeah.
The death of the cop is actually really well filmed as well, because it has the blades coming through the wood cracks.
The death of the what?
The death of the cop, yeah. The blade coming through the wood cracks. Actually done better than in Scream 7. But
like so much.
Like so much. Also, what's good is, and you've spoken to this too, they keep the Scarecrow face somewhat abstract and largely still. So you get added menace. Comes with it.
Yeah, right.
Added menace because his features are indistinct. Like, you can't put a face on him.
Exactly. And they have good storytelling ideas about the argument between husband and wife, where they bring it up once where he's like, well, why don't you drive the tractor? And he's like, Mom doesn't want me driving that tractor. Well, we won't tell her. They bring it up a second time. Like, he's on the tractor. I thought that was bold of the kid. He's just out there fucking running the tractor. And she's like, I've told you, I don't want that little piece of shit on the tractor. That's the moment where he yells at her. He's like, well, you get him off. You're wearing the pants.
I think that's where it gets a bit 2009 video sequel for me. Because I think the only reason we see him on that tractor is for this scene, and it's quite a cheesy...
But that's the point.
Cheesy moment. Yeah, but I think that's a reverse engineered thing. I don't think... Again, I agree, I think they could work harder on layering the boy
I think
into
it comes
story.
Across cheesy because we just cut to him and he's already in the barn with the tractor. And I was like, I don't think that tractor was in the barn, was it? Shouldn't we see him coming into the barn with it?
Richard Farnsworth comes in on a mower like in a Straight Story. And gets killed again in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all the... I was already enjoying the fact that whatever happens, we won't get 11 minutes of credits with BTS and mountains. Because the movie was like 5-6 minutes from being over and we hadn't got to the credits yet. And I was like, oh, this is great. This is how movies should be.
Right.
And the final jump scare was pretty good too.
I wrote that down. Final jump scares.
And I like that they give the mother the agency to protect her daughter rather than the two of them, given that one is about a year older than the other. Just kind of both backing into a corner. I like the fact that she takes over.
Well, I think I have a different note because it's like the family comes together to rip that Scarecrow apart.
Yeah, eventually they do, yeah.
They're like a pack of wild dogs.
Yeah. Which made me think it was like a weirdly Christian image of integrity, like let's save
Oh, interesting.
Let's save the father from his moral failures by reintegrating the family and unpacking the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, I don't know, it felt very biblical. And given that the film begins with him holding the Bible, I did wonder whether there was Christian money involved in this. Good teaser as well. good the Ghost Girl rebuilding the Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Could have done without the... Because you know that they're going to do something to reanimate the Scarecrow.
Sure.
And tease a sequel that never happened.
Is she just carrying sacks of him out?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we actually see her building it?
I think it's maybe even just her gathering up the...
Yeah.
Well, what is a Scarecrow? Should have asked that question earlier, shouldn't we? I mean, that they also get...
In the last seconds of this podcast, I'd like to ask, what is a Scarecrow?
One of the reasons why I think they're used so effectively in horror is because, I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, they come to life. They're the uncanny valley of them being human but not real, trying to look like humans but they're not real. Look like a human to a crow. I think I think that's what's kind of effective about it, is that they're sort of, you can always reanimate them,
right?
And so I think there's a really good horror film series in the idea of a sequel, that because all the nonsense you have to do with your Draculas and your Freddys at the beginning of the films, you literally just, you get a shirt, you pack it with straw, Scarecrow's back in business, baby.
I unstuffed them and I burnt them. Clearly I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, I can restuff. Should have burnt that shirt.
I didn't need the Scarecrow squeal at the very end of the movie that we have. There's like a... Because he makes like a noise that's like a pig squealing.
Oh no!
So I didn't need to do that, but I like the idea of, you know, she was just going to unpack him and rebuild him in another field and torment another family.
Yeah.
So...
Just imagine like all the ghosts kind of like on a Monopoly board. It's like, they beat us. Well, let's go down the road. Get the next one.
Yep.
Let's roll to see who plays the farmer.
Yeah. I'm thinking Ron Livingston this time. How about that? We'll have an Office Space reunion with Richard Reel.
Yeah.
Maybe get Gary Cole in on it.
Nice.
Gary Cole could play the banker.
Love it. All right. Credit check?
Yes. Well, I mean, the big credit check is... this shouldn't be a big deal, but it is for us. Having the same person write the original and the sequel is all too rare in the movies we watch. Especially when they're made for the video market. That's almost... Yeah,
definitely.
Almost precludes...
Unheard of.
Yes. So it is worth mentioning the 8 times we have. Elegiac fiddle music, as I said before. And I think the music is actually, as I say, well chosen. Chosen would do.
Chosen.
Compared to the other movies in this. Because it is a kind of it's a story that requires a certain American heartland vibe. And fiddle music, I think, really does that for you.
Sure.
So I started to notice a trend in these credits. When it comes to the names on screen, every other name ends in "of," and I began to get the idea that maybe this production has circled Eastern Europe a few times. And indeed, it was made largely in Eastern Europe.
All right.
It's kind of crazy how cosmopolitan film had become by that point, because you've got British and Australian actors in a movie shot in Eastern Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Is Norman Reedus Canadian?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Richard Reel, I think, is American. But, anyway. ADR voice casting by the final...
Oh, born in Hollywood, Florida.
Oh.
Perfect.
He went from Hollywood to Hollywood.
Yeah.
ADR voice casting by The Final Word. Finally, a company that uses its name to say exactly what it is that it does.
Gets it right.
Yes. And then I was really impressed by this movie.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was shot in Bulgaria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hence the OVs.
Mm-hmm.
Credits in under 4 minutes.
Oh.
Done
Nice.
and done
as they should be.
As they should be, and done so efficiently. We even have space to credit craft services cleaning. People who clean craft services get a credit.
Yeah.
So
I remember
not only are
noticing
your
that.
credits 5 minutes shorter than any other movie from this year, you actually get to credit all the people who worked on the movie. Why can't every movie do this?
It's not that hard.
You set the bar. You've set the bar high, messengers to the Scarecrow.
I don't need to know the executives of the third company that produced this movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the person who cleans craft services is indispensable. You can't have rotting food.
That stuff's got to be thrown away.
Unless they credited them because they just picked up the rotting food and threw it in the cornfield, and it was just like, this is like made to order atmosphere right here. And they were like, you got a lot of initiative, person who cleans craft services. I'm going to credit you in the movie.
That's how they got the 50 real crows they killed.
They just put all the leftovers from craft services.
Leftover crew food in the fucking field.
That's why those crows are dead.
I remember I did read a note, though, that they built everything for this movie. Like,
wow.
That entire farm and everything was just built outside wherever they were filming in Bulgaria.
Well, I guess that's why you do it, to keep the budget down, but also kind of do what you want to do filmically.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe $2 million is not too far off the mark from what they spent.
I'm impressed with that.
They make a lot
build an entire farm.
Make a lot of with Bulgarian labor, though. Probably at that time you could really, your dollar would go pretty far in Eastern Europe. Not like today.
I'll give a shiny new donkey to the person who builds me a farm.
A shiny new donkey. I love the idea that, because it's because it's a good you're exchanging, you have to shine it up like a coin. It's like, I don't necessarily want a shiny donkey. I prefer them kind of furry and functional.
Why is he so wet?
He doesn't seem pleased about it either.
All right, anything left for you?
Nope.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are two of our good time movies. Well, at least one.
Good time movies.
And then a second good time for me in our last episode. We're going to get to the dregs soon enough.
Oh, yeah, we got two stinkers coming right up.
Yeah. But we've been having a good time here for these last two.
Yeah.
So you got to tell us what you think of these movies. Or think what you might have thought had you seen them.
You know how you normally say, don't take our word for it? Take our word for it.
Yeah.
Just take our word for it this time. No harm, no foul.
To tell us or not tell us, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, Threads, X, Blueskis.
YouTube.
Stop saying YouTube. Nobody cares.
Gonna keep speaking. No, it's GrooveTube that no one cares about.
That's wrong.
You keep bringing it up. You keep bringing it up.
I care very much about GrooveTube. Ape with a television on its head. You should care about apes.
More people have got in touch with us through YouTube than probably any other platform.
Again, just to tell us this isn't the fucking movie.
The content of the messages doesn't matter. It's the engagement.
These are two stupid fucks talking about the movie. It's not the actual
Any
Rambo First Blood Part 2. Just so you know.
It's all about the engagement. Yeah, and that video had fucking like thousands and thousands of views.
More like 500,000.
Yeah.
According to YouTube, we should be the most popular podcast in America.
Yeah. That many people were fooled into thinking it was a copy of Rambo First Blood Part 2. Even though your face was on Sylvester Stallone's body.
And like awkwardly, like kind of flipped it around somehow in a not good way. Or send an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com. That's it. Now, if I have this correct, I believe when you hear us next, we'll be talking S. Darko, a Donnie Darko tale.
Okay.
We only have 2 left, right? We've done 3?
Yeah, we're going to end with Centrinians.
Yeah, so that's right.
You know,
S.
you
Darko
know what
next.
part of the problem with my incorrect order was?
You?
Yes. Do you know what another part of the problem was?
What?
Probably the difference between British and American release date.
So you ask for something and the AI just knows you're British and gives you all British release dates?
That might be that might be the case, or like, you know, if I put in original release date, that's not going to be when it was released in America. So should no, we don't need to change it now.
No.
It was the last movie I watched as well, so and you, so it's at least we watched the first and the last are, so it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. It was just me. The problem was just me. Because it's in the same...
It's great to watch you realize your mistake in real time.
Realize my mistake about a mistake. Oh, I mistook my mistake for not a mistake.
My mistake.
I mistook my mistake for not a mistake. My mistake.
All right, everyone. Look forward to S. Darko coming up next. For Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions, Michael Shantz here of the How Dare You Awards. Like I said, we're going to be back with that fucking tragic mess next week. Say goodbye to everybody, Tom.
Putting your precious cornfield before your family. Do you remember that? Where it sounds as if his wife is about to expose his reverse rape, and then it turns out she's just talking about his other terrible behavior, irrespective of his philandering.
Sounds like she's about to show a video of him just fucking the soil.
Yeah. I wrote down, this is like video sequel Shakespeare.
Perfect note to leave on. Thanks for listening, everybody.